Welcome back, guys, to season two of the Hobby Garden. We're out here for the discussion on location of your garden. Now, for those of you who watched the premiere, you'll know exactly what I'm referring to. And so, number one on the list was your location. So basically, you have to figure out, where you want to put your hobby garden. Now, it is very, very wet out here, and I want you guys to see just how wet it is. This is spring. This is what happens to your garden over the course of the winter, and it's not very nice, as you guys can see. So when choosing a location outside, it's really important to consider the slope of your lawn, which, as you guys can see behind me, my dad and I weren't aware of that when we first put the garden in, but even with us being aware of that, we've brought some dirt out here to try to level out the slope a little bit, but we haven't been able to really do a whole lot, especially, with summer, you're super busy, dealing with the garden and everything else and other things that go on in life. So I don't want you guys to think that your first garden has to be perfect, but this is just one example of something to be aware of. And again, if you guys are, putting a garden outside, one of the things you can actually do is, if you are let's say you move to a new house and someone already has a garden somewhere, that is probably a good indication that it's in a good spot. If there isn't a garden, well, assess the lawn and, try to make your best judgment call on where to place it, and not just in terms of water runoff, obviously, but keep in mind that you also need to look at the sun exposure. So if it's out in the middle of the yard, you're going to have lots of sun. So right now, for us to really do anything, I'm sloshing around here. I got boots on right now. But as you guys can see, there is a lot of water here just sitting there. And other than us getting a siphon going and draining it out of the area, our garden, it's going to have probably a month at least of looking like this before it even begins to dry up, because with the warmer temperatures still not fully here, it's going to be really difficult for this water to soak up into the ground or evaporate. And the problem that we have is not only the slope of the lawn, the grass itself, where I'm standing on grass, and it is soaking wet. And on some days, when you come out here, you can actually hear it kind of bubbling, or like a burping, and that is the water evaporating, from what I know. And so it's just the noise that it makes, which is actually a really cool noise, but that's what it does. And unfortunately, there's not much we can do. You could, if you have this problem, do a raised garden, which is a lot of work. So, you don't really want to be doing that right now because it's so swamp-like and it's just a mess. Like there's no point in me really doing much at this point. Just kind of see how, the weather goes, and if it gets really warm, maybe we can do something. But location is super important. So I want you guys to keep that in mind. If you're in the house, if you're having your little hobby garden in the house, in the windowsill or whatever, you guys don't have to worry about this sort of thing, which is really nice. So if you guys are worried about something like this happening, it's not very common as far as I know, but it is something that I have to deal with every single season, because as you can see, you know, it's a lot of water. So I don't know if you guys can see the wind, but the wind is actually blowing the water around, so you get that ripple effect. There is a lot of water just sitting there. So hopefully we have a lot of warm weather to come and dry all this water up for us, so that we can actually put our garden in on time, probably near the end of May. And if you guys have any questions, please let me know. If there's something that you guys want me to go more in depth with, you know, this is just a brief example of the bad stuff that can happen to be aware of. So if you guys like this video, give me a thumbs up. And again, leave some comments, anything that you guys think that I didn't cover or you want me to elaborate on. Leave some comments down below for me. And be sure to subscribe so that I know you guys are engaged and want more content. And when you subscribe, you'll be getting notifications of more videos just like this one when they're posted. And I will see you guys in the next one.